Children, till now we have discussed about what do you mean by function, how to write a user-defined function in Python. Okay, so how to write a function, that is what we have discussed so far. Now what we are going to understand is that how to make use of the function that we have written. While discussing, I have already told you that if you are planning to use user-defined function, there must be a function definition and function call statement. Only when you write a function call statement, you will be making use of the function. So now we are going to understand how to call, that is calling, invoking or using a function. All are having the same name. How to call the function, that is how to write the function call statement to make use of the function. How to invoke, it is also having the same meaning. How to invoke or call the function, how to make use of the function. So to make use of the function, you have to write the function call statement. What is the general syntax for function call statement? So it is function name. You have to specify the name of the function. Okay, so try to recall len, it is the name of the function. You have to write as such. Whatever the user defined name that you have written, you have to write as such. Okay, so name of the function and parenthesis you must specify, and value to be passed. Okay, for which value you want to do the particular task, that value you have to pass it as a argument to the function. Now let us write the function call statements for the examples that we have discussed. Okay, so what is the first example that we have discussed? It is def sum of x comma y. How to write the function call statement? You have to write the function name. What is the function name? X sum. Okay, and then value to be passed. What are all the, how many parameters it takes? It takes 2 parameters. So you have to pass 2 values. So sum of 45 comma 123, this is the function call statement for the function sum, right? Okay, so let us take next example. It is def area triangle of b comma h. What is the name of the function? Area triangle. How many parameters it takes? So there are 2 parameters. So you have to write the function call statement as area triangle open parenthesis 2 values. Okay, so it is going to be numbers, so it can be any integer or floating point value. So 2 values I am passing and close parenthesis. What is the last example that we have discussed? It is greetings. Okay, the name of the function is greetings. So how to write, is there any parameters? There are no parameters. So how you can write the function call statement? It is greetings of open parenthesis and close parenthesis. Okay, so this is how you have to write the function call statement. Okay, so your function definition starts with a def and it must end with the colon. Your function call statements, you straight away specify the name of the function and you have to specify the number of parameters that are required by that particular function. Okay, while writing function call statement, what are all the things that you can do? Okay, and what are all the different ways that you can write the function call statements? Okay, so it will give you clear idea. So the first one is you can pass literal as an argument. What do you mean by literal? Or nothing but the constant. Okay, for what you can pass the literals, that is the values for which you want to do the particular task, you can pass the values directly. Okay, you can pass the literal. So the second one is pass variable as argument. Okay, so I am having the value in some other variable, for that I want to do the particular task means, so yes, you can specify those variables. Okay, so a comma b initialized with the value 10 comma 20. So sum of a comma b, when you write that, a will be substituted with the value 10 and b will be substituted with the value 20. So you can also use a variable. Take input and pass input as an argument. Okay, you can also read the value from the user. How will you get the input from the user? So int of input of or since it is a sum, so it is an integer, so I have written as int of input of, and whatever the value, to that value I want to add 25. Or you can also write another statement, b equal to int of input of, and then you can write a sum of a comma b. Okay, so the point is you can read the value from the user and then you can pass that particular argument as a that particular variable as an argument to the function. So next one is use function call inside another statement. Okay, you can also use a function call as a part of another statement. Print is a function, it is a statement. Okay, so inside print you are calling that function, right? Okay, so you have to be very careful while dealing with these two. Okay, I'll tell you. So print sum of 12 comma 23. Sum is a function which will return the value. So when you pass this function, then you call this function sum of 12 comma 23. So 12 will be given to x, 23 will be given to y. So 12 plus 23, it is what is that, 35. So that value will be returned. Okay, so 35 will be returned. The complete statements will be substituted with the value 35 and 35 will be printed. Okay, so here the point is you can use the function call inside another statement. Okay, this is also totally legal. Okay, so when you use it like this, make sure the function should return a value. Okay, so you can write the greetings as a separate function. It need not be written inside print because it is not going to return any value. Okay, okay, so in the last one is use function call in the expression. Okay, especially here when you're using it in an expression. Okay, so the expression needs some value to be evaluated. When you use some function here, make sure that the function returns some value. Here you cannot specify some function which is not returning any value. Here you cannot write area triangle because it is not returning any value. It will just print, okay, and it will not give you any value here. Okay, that does not make any sense here. Okay, so when you are using a function call statement in the expression, make sure that the function returns some value. Okay, so these are all the things that you have to keep it in your mind while writing the function call statement. Children, now let us understand different types of functions in Python. There are 3 different types of functions in Python. The first one is built-in functions. Okay, so from the name itself you will be able to understand built-in. These are predefined functions and are always available for use, right? Okay, so for example, length, type, int, input. Okay, these functions we use it very frequently while writing any Python program. Okay, the functions which are predefined and it is always available without importing any module, so that is called as built-in functions. The second type of functions are functions defined in modules. So these are the functions or predefined in particular modules and can only be used when the corresponding module is imported. Okay, so we have already discussed about some other functions, that is sqrt, pow, etc. Okay, so to use these function, what we need to use, we have to import the math module. Okay, you have to write the statement import math. Only after writing that statement you will be able to use the function, that can also be, that should be called with the math module, that is math.sqrt, math.pow. Okay, the function that has been defined in a particular module which needs to be imported, that is called as functions defined in modules. And then third one is user defined functions. So these are the functions defined by the programmers. Okay, so that is what we were talking about all this time. Okay, whatever the functions, when we talk about functions, we are talking about the user defined functions. That is the functions that are returned by the programmer. Okay, these are the 3 different types of functions that are available in Python.